used to be the couple that everybody looked up to as if we were the good ones, that we got it right. And we used to come home and talk about how grateful we are to be able to communicate and to be that for each other and for our friends. Where the fuck? That was so wrong.
I went on Match.com, like as soon as my husband left, I got on Match.com and I started like going through all the profiles. And at that time I was like, oh my gosh, the world is my oyster. I'm probably gonna date Brad Pitt.
That is not going to happen.
So I found this guy that I was like, this is my perfect man.
2 seconds later.
And yeah, he never responded.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Before we start, I just want to mention something that I think will be important for you as well. But since yesterday, or well, at the time of posting this video, it's probably been a couple of days, but my YouTube is lagging like hell. Like it feels like I am on my grandma's PC using Internet Explorer, so extremely laggy. It has like a 10-second delay, impossible to work with. And so I dug around and I eventually found out that YouTube is doing this to people who use ad blockers to screw them, you know. So if you use an ad blocker, now there are very different types and of ad blockers, but they're getting targeted one by one from YouTube in order for you to, well, basically have to eat up all the ads. So just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you are experiencing that your YouTube is extremely laggy, it may be because of that. Check your ad blocker, change it for another one. What I'm doing now is, at time of recording, I'm using this, what was it? Opera, yeah, Opera. I'm using Opera because it uses a different ad blocker, which is not yet targeted, so I'm able to work with it. But yeah, with that being said, guys, hope you enjoy this upcoming video. It's women talking about their divorces, minutes before divorce or after divorce, a lot of different shapes and colors. So let's give it a listen, guys, and let me know what you think down below.
We used to be the couple that everybody looked up to as if we were the good ones, that we got it right. And we used to come home and talk about how grateful we are to be able to communicate and to be that for each other and for our friends. Where the fuck? That was so wrong. I don't know what happened. He's just gotten angrier. And everyone seems to support that side of him. And I'm the least important person in his life right now. And he's always been the most important person of mine. And that's why it's so frustrating when I don't feel reciprocated. And it's my life and my choice, and I do have control over what happens next. And I know I'm capable. I know that I'm strong. I know I'll be okay if I leave.
Alright, we'll stop it right here for a moment. Now, not a lot of details are shared about what happened, what kind of conversation they had. So, of course, take what I say with a grain of salt. I haven't been there, don't know what's going on. But from what I can see, I think that this guy is burnt up. So he's got angrier with time. You were perfect at one point. Now he seems like he doesn't care. So what I think happened is this guy just got burnt out of putting effort into the relationship, or always taking the blame, or always being the one to blame for all the bad things. And notice her response, because it's really interesting. She says, you know, things are not the way they were before. I know I have control over what I can do. And then the next thing she says is, I know I'll be okay if I leave. You know, it's just... Now, again, I haven't been there. Don't know if that's the case. I mean, for all I know, maybe the guy even cheated and that's why he lost feelings. But it seems to me that you are the sort of person that doesn't take accountability at all. Like, you just mentioned that, you know, you control your marriage. You are 50% of your marriage. You can make things right. You can try to understand him, try to change this, compromise with that. And yet the first thought that comes to mind after I have control is, well, I'll be okay if I leave. So you're already thinking about walking out the door, you know? It's like nobody needs a girlfriend that is going to be a good girlfriend when everything is all right, okay? When everything is perfect and we are rich and we are happy and life is 100, everything is perfect. Yes, everybody can be a good companion in that time, you know? What people need is a person to be married with who can also be there when things get tough, when you have problems, when you don't understand each other. And it really shows which people are committed when they stick when things get tough, you know, when it starts burning from below the feet, you know. So when things get heated, what you do? Oh, I'm gonna be okay if I leave. It's like, man, you know, I don't know what happened, but from what it seems, this woman doesn't have any accountability, no willingness to solve problems. But let's continue to listen, guys.
I don't know how long it'll take. I do think I deserve better. And if he's not willing to be better for me, then why am I here? I don't know. I don't know why I stay. I just want to be on my own. Never thought being a fucking housewife would genuinely drive us away from each other. He just doesn't see my value anymore. But I am valuable. But I feel like he holds me back.
So a lot of me, myself and I, a lot of coping, I'm valuable, I'm the best, he's not seeing my worth, a lot of blaming, you know, he just doesn't put in the effort anymore, he's not willing to better himself for me, he's holding me back, zero accountability at all, you know, maybe that is the problem. Maybe you've been in a perfect marriage because this guy has been working his behind off to keep things afloat, to understand you, to do everything for you, and maybe he's just got tired of being the one accused all the time, of being the one who is to blame for everything, or being the one who needs to fix everything at all times. That's what it sounds to me. Leave me your opinions down below, ladies and gentlemen. But I think it's like you know, he's gotten bottled up. If I can express myself this way, he's been holding back emotions for a long time, and he just got tired. He got burnt out. And by the way this woman reacts, well, it will only seem that way. And look, men are the ones from whom it's expected to be problem solvers. I do believe in that. I think that's just the nature of it. Yes, women are the ones who complain most often than not. They're more emotional, they have more needs, all that, you know, all that things. I think everyone who's married can say that. Every man can say, yes, I am the one who most often than not needs to change something, fix something, you know, to make them feel good. It's absolutely natural, excuse me. But you can't take it to the extreme, all right? There is not one relationship on planet Earth where women are perfect and it's like the man who does everything wrong, all right? So women, in fact, tend to be equally at fault than men. There is no gender which is more perfect in a relationship or better or commits less mistakes. No, it usually problems arise from the fact that we are just different. So a lot of the times we don't understand each other, or we can't see why the other person did that, or we feel bad in a certain aspect because of the other person's actions. And most of the times, the solution is to just understand each other and find a path of communication that works for both. So it will seem that this woman, given what she said, she's just putting the blame on him non-stop all the time. She takes no accountability. She doesn't stop for a moment and think, what have I done, you know, to make this man feel this way? Okay, if he hasn't cheated or done something really bad like this, I really do believe that this is 100% on the woman for not holding her part of the marriage.
And I don't want a partner that does that. I should leave though, shouldn't I? Don't know why I stay. Except for the possibility that things could be better. I don't know if hope is enough reason. When he's not even trying. I don't know.
Woman wrote to Dear
Right, before we continue, are you trying though? No, again, yes, it's guy's duty to fix the problems most of the time. It doesn't go to say that they should do it all the time, 100% of the time, you know. And women truly show if they are committed when they support you. The best thing is for both of people, you know, both of you who are married, to fight against the problem. Not for you to turn your back on your husband and just leave him alone with the problem. And yes, when he'll resolve it, everything will be alright. But I won't do anything up until now, guys. Let's continue.
Woman wrote to Dear Abby looking for advice on this because the fella she's interested in refuses to replace the bed he shared with his ex-wife. She says it bothers her, but he's holding firm like a hard old mattress. Is this asking too much?
Yeah. 4 words. Get rid of it. Yeah. I don't care if you donate it. I don't care if you give it to your cousin. You could light it on fire. That would be great. And the reason I feel that way is that when I'm finished with a relationship, I really believe that things can have energy. And I believe that when you're done, get rid of all of those things because they carry the energy of that past relationship.
That could get expensive.
Honey, spend the money.
All right, but before we move on, I agree with these women. And the reason why I showed this TikTok is because that mattress, you know, that your husband used to sleep with his wife bothers you, right? It's a portion of his past. It holds what they mentioned, energy, you know, it holds like the memories, you know, it's a thing of the past and it should stay in the past. It bothers you to see it, right? Now, my question is, isn't it much more important than a mattress that is an object, your past relationships, right? I mean, you heard all the ladies listening when the woman mentioned he hasn't thrown away his old mattress that he used to sleep with his ex-wife on, and all the crowd went, ooh, wow, you know, like a really massive problem. Yet we have women walking around saying, oh, my past 35 relationships should be of no concern to my man. You know, the fact that I've slept around with over 20, 30, 40 strangers and other dudes should not concern you. It's in my past, you know, and we live in the present. So, you know, what's in the past is in the past, doesn't matter. Of course it matters. If it bothers you that that mattress is there and it's just an object, right? A person's emotional state and the things he's paying attention to, his past relationships, his body, you know, when we're talking about women's bodies and the way they give out their bodies to anyone and everyone, well, isn't that more concerning than just a mattress, right? But somehow, guys, when we're talking about a mattress, all the ladies seem to understand that it's disgusting to sleep in the same bed that in the past you've had relations with other women on. Yet we see no problem with women objectifying their bodies, sleeping around with multiple men, allowing multiple men in themselves, having all those memories with those men, traveling places with all those men, saying I love you to all those different men. Well, I don't see why, you know, the logic doesn't go for both cases.
I've been in that situation where you feel like you're in the graveyard of someone's past relationship with all the things that they shared with their partner, and his wife picked out that bed and his wife picked out those sheets. And I don't want to be there for that. I want to be there and be carefree and be like, I'm having a great time, not, oh, which side was her side?
Bitch! I had to come back already on here to get you together again. I realized some of y'all don't understand the importance of the roster and why it's necessary as a female when you're dating. First of all, let me tell you that this roster concept theory did not just come out of nowhere, okay? This was built off of trial and error, being burnt by numerous men who use this very same tactic, okay? Get your pen and paper out, bitch. Number 1. Build that roster. However it is that you date, you go on the apps, you go to church, I don't know what you do to find them, baby. Build that roster. Always keep 3, 4, or 5 on the roster at the same time. That way, you never get too attached to just one, because right when you get attached to that one, he gonna walk away from you. So build that roster. Number 2 is we're not sleeping with everybody on the roster, babe.
So we have a individual here that just got the rabies apparently, and the first symptoms are starting to kick in. Sometimes I really wonder, why am I watching these videos? It takes its toll. And then I think about you guys and I think, damn, do they hate it when women like these appear? Do they enjoy it? Do they find it interesting? So leave me your thoughts. How do you experience a woman like these? But just so you know, guys, the rabies, it has no cure. Okay, it hasn't been found. People who got the rabies usually, you know, pass away. So stay away from this woman, alright? Or you might get infected.
Learn the difference between being a hoe and having a roster. If you're trying to find the one, you gotta learn to keep it in your...
There is no difference between having a roster and being a 304. There's literally no difference other than the word, alright? I mean, guys, if you think of one difference, let me know in the comments.
Button your pants up, be a big girl, use your toys at home, and stop giving it away for free. That is the only power that you have. Make...
What? Is this woman not the biggest misogynist out there? What do you mean that a woman's kitty is the only power they have? That is the most outrageous and sexist thing I've heard in the last months, guys. Women are so much more than that. How dare you talk about them like they're objects and like they only matter and their only value comes from what's between their legs. Absolutely disgusting, gentlemen. But you know, it's ironic. But in fact, a lot of women are just that. They are just objects. And I don't say that because I want to be rude. No, it's what they want. They like put a title on above their heads. I am an object. And that's what they do. They go around sleeping with Chad. They give their bodies, their times, their minds to men who view them as pieces of meat. So that's what they are.
Wait for it. All 5 of them. Okay? Last but not least, number 3, how the roster works. When one starts messing up, move his ass to the bottom of the list. He mess up again, we'll give him a second chance. He mess up again, he's getting booted off the team, and now we've got space for another player on the roster. You add another one, go back to your dating methods, add another one to the list, and continue to work your roster that way until you find the one. That's it, simple.
It's simple as that. That's a bold strategy, Karen. Let's see if it pays off. You know what I mean? How is it, guys, that, you know, the respectable women that I've been meeting throughout my life, you know, that I see in marriages, that are good mothers, that are, you know, already 60 years of age, they've been married for the last 40 years in happy marriages. How come when you ask these women how they've managed to pull a man, they never say, oh, because I had a roster of 17 men and this happened to be the best of them, you know? Or in the other scenario, how come these women that have rosters never end up married, never end up meeting their perfect Prince Charming, you know? I think there's a pattern there that shows that this strategy, if you can call it that, is not really effective because it turns you into a 304, into a miserable, disgusting, pathetic 304 that has no value other than what's between her legs, and that's what these people use her for. You know, it will only go to I will only go to assume that, guys, given that I've never seen a woman with a roster end up in a happy marriage, and given that all women throughout my life I've seen in happy marriages being good people, good wives and good mothers, they've never had rosters.
Is that don't make me have to come back on here and give you these rules and regs. Number 2 is the most important because y'all been hoeing. That's why we're still single, because we've been hoeing. Get it together. Get it.
Okay, I'm starting a new series called Things I Did When I First Got Divorced That Were Dumb as Shit. The thing that I did that was dumb as shit when I first got divorced was I went on Match.com. Like, as soon as my husband left, I got on Match.com and I started like going through all the profiles. And at that time, I was like, oh my gosh, the world is my oyster. I'm probably going to date Brad Pitt. But in the meantime,
yeah, before she continues with this really cringy narrative, Just to tell you guys, this is most women, alright? If there is anyone surprised, how dare she? She has no respect for her husband. This is what like 90% of women do, right? The fact that they got divorced already goes to tell you that they didn't care about that marriage in the first place, or they didn't try enough to stick to it. So yeah, the moment they leave, you can expect within 1-2 days, if we're being generous, for them to go on the dating app, start talking to different men if they haven't already during the marriage, start spreading their legs left, right, and center. This is what they do. And then, oh, respect me. No, we won't respect you, because men can clearly see when you're not a favorable asset, when you don't make for a good partner. Oh, some men that are dating her, she's telling them this. Oh yeah, I just got divorced like 2 days ago. And the man is just writing a mental note. Never commit to this woman.
I'll go on Match.com. And so I found this guy that I was like, this is my perfect man. And I literally wrote him probably a 2-page dissertation about why I thought we were like meant to be together. And thinking about it like makes me absolutely cringe, because looking back on it, it is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. And yeah, he never responded.
Oh wow, what a surprise, eh? Funny story. Now, can you tell me how's that been working for you? You know, you got divorced, we don't know how much time ago, and you've been talking to all these people, having all these dates, sleeping with multiple men. How's that going for you? Where is the ring on your finger, madam? Where is Brad Pitt? You know, the world is my oyster. How's that going for you? You know, are you crying yourself to sleep every night or every second night? Just pathetic, guys. These women, they it's always the same story. They get divorced for bullcrap reasons most of the times. They think that they can get something better, and they still want to hold it. Like, they're still pushing it because they say, oh yeah, I can marry anyone at whatever point I want, but first let me 3 or 4 around. Let me just have my fun. They're already doomed at that point, but they still continue to show you their true colors. They really don't care about love and committed relationships. No, they just want to, they are opportunistic. They're like vultures. They want to have everything at the same time, all the time. You know, they want to date and date. And there comes this point where they suddenly realize their inevitable doom, where they say, holy crap, I'm 40 years of age. I've been divorced and dating for the last 10 years. Nobody has committed. And they suddenly realize that they have lost this ability, you know, to keep the respectful man. I mean, they've probably lost it right when they got divorced, but if they had any little chance, they've thrown it away. So yeah, they're gonna end up like this woman, just sad and miserable, and in their deathbed, nobody's gonna care about them because they have no children, no husband, no nothing. You know, they're gonna pass away alone in a sad and bitter life. Why? Well, because they've always been self-absorbed a-holes. They've been narcissists. They've been trying to feed off of people and use them for whatever their needs are. And this is why nobody cares about them. But guys, thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.